evaluate Shlomo's speech.
When it comes to a back pocket speech, I sometimes resort to back pocket evaluations, and the mnemonics I use are sometimes GLOVE or 3, 2, 1. For example, GLOVE stands for gestures, where the speaker's body movements and facial expressions appropriate. Language, was the language appropriate, vivid, clear, and eloquent. Organization, were the transitions between introduction, body, and conclusion clear and effective. Voice, could everyone in the audience hear the speaker? Was there vocal variety? And then finally, enthusiasm, emotion, and energy, which are some of the things that I think Shlomo almost always has in his speeches. 3 things that I like: your confidence in being ready to wing it as a back pocket speaker. You began with a pause, which is a very effective way to connect to the audience. I believe you almost always do it in that way. You involved your audience right from the beginning, and you use it with a natural sense of humor. Have you ever felt left out? And when we didn't respond, as often audiences don't respond, you use that humor to say, well, those of you who didn't, you're liars. 2 areas for improvement. One is a back pocket speech, to me, generally should be something that you at least have a basic knowledge of. That's why I think it's better to maintain the Toastmaster template, if you will, 5 things that you think of before you come to the meeting, and then have somebody choose one of those 5, as opposed to speaking about, maybe atom crunching or something like that, that maybe you have absolutely no knowledge of. But also, with your authority to speak, I think that maybe if you know you're speaking, maybe you don't wear your dungarees that night. Now, on the wow factor, I think that what was really well done is you have a message. You gave us a message to take away, not so much from Aliens of Outer Space, but more about acceptance and facing bullying head on. Some of the other things that I noticed about your presentation that I thought you did really well. You said I felt like an alien. I thought that was a connection right away to the topic, if you will. You talked about, some of you may know my story, and you didn't use any filler words during your speech. You used the rule of 3s, and you said, I have 3 ways that you can make sure that you don't become a victim of bullying or people picking on you. One area of improvement, perhaps, is to try to summarize those 3 after you've given them. You also mentioned about getting off topic. You don't really have to tell us that you got off topic. Anytime you start talking to Frank, you get distracted. You get off topic. That is natural. And sometimes this isn't necessarily a Toastmaster recommended technique. I like it. You said, in conclusion. That piques our interest, and that tells us, here's the finish. And you finished very well. You finished a speech that you didn't have time to prepare because you are an accomplished speaker. I could have done that, right?